There's nothing I'd rather do than work a 15-hour day. You need to not buy a fresh hoodie. You may need to move into a apartment. I'm being dead serious. What I'm good at now, people are like, yeah, you're so right. I'm good at timing.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like na 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 na. For my top 10, top 10, top 10, na 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 na. This one's for my top 10.
He's Gary Vaynerchuck, and here's my take on his top 10 rules of success, volume 17. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Have self-awareness.
Outside of spending time with my inner family and closest friends, and outside of garage selling and watching the Jets, there's nothing I'd rather do than work a 15-hour day.
You're self-aware, you know you.
And I always have. This is why I shoveled snow and did lemonade, and I washed cars as a 7-year-old all day long on August 9th, because it's what I like. And I'm not gonna judge somebody who wants to work 9 to 5, be on 13 softball teams and play video games all day and make $42K a year. If she and he are pumped as they're equal to me, because I know a bunch of miserable billionaires and I know a lot of happy 55K a years and everything in between.
Rule number 2, give.
I literally get 700 emails a month when somebody knows I'm gonna be in some town. They're like, Gary, like in the title, like, great news, I will pick you up from the airport and drive you to your hotel. I wanna really give. I'm like, you. I'm like, that's $48 Uber ride. I need my peace and quiet to catch up with the work when I land from the flight. You don't want to give me a ride. You want me to give you consulting for 45 minutes while we drive. You can save your lunch that you want me to buy, that you want to buy for me and all that. And I'm fascinated by, you know, and a lot of times I'll hit up those kids. They're like, yo, it's not working. I'm like, because you're not giving. When you're DMing somebody, you're asking. You're trying to take. Like, you know, it's a really funny thing to try to get somebody to click on what the definition of giving is. And people struggle with selflessness. They really do. They struggle with not being selfish in the disguise of giving. And I think the reason I want to talk about it and keep throwing out these examples is once you're aware of it, people oftentimes aren't aware. You know, but once you become aware of it, I actually think it changes the entire framework of this conversation.
Rule number 3, don't worry what others think.
How do I get out of analysis paralysis? Because I'm not perfect, but I want to be. And like I said, I see you just say, just go, just move, just do it.
You're valuing other people's opinions. My question is, why do you look so sharp? Do you love it? Or do you think it projects something to other people? You gotta figure that out. The only reason people overthink is because they worry about the judgment. I go fast because I don't give a for real.
Yeah.
Like for real.
See, and I wouldn't mind going fast, but only on things that I just really, really know and grasp.
And you should do it. And if you don't know it, hedge it up front. You can start a video with like, I'm not sure what the I'm talking about, but boom.
Okay, so
got
just
it?
preface it and just keep it going.
That's it.
Wow, thank you so much.
Because doing's the game. If you're not doing, nothing's happening.
Right, and I don't want to talk no more.
Everyone's talking and thinking.
Rule number 4, don't be delusional.
So you talk patience too, right? That people should be patient in the pursuit of their goals. At what point does patience just become delusion?
A lot of times.
Oh, so what are the hacks or the tips for them to be self-aware to know when to just, when is patience just run its course?
If you've been doing the same thing for 7 years and nothing good has happened, you're delusional. Let's start there. That's a test. I believe in that. If there's been no progress in your rap career or in your art or your video blog, and you've been doing it every day for 7 years, as hard as you can, and nothing has happened, the market has spoken. That's one way. Now, is that 4 years? Is that 2 years? Do people jump off? Like, you need to see some level of progress to keep you having blood in the water to get you going. But sometimes there is a breakthrough, because if the machine is in between you and the market, well, then you gotta be discovered. But the reason now I think it's more pure is because SoundCloud and Spotify and YouTube and Shopify and Amazon, now you get the feedback loop so fast, and it isn't the arbitrary subjective call. The reason it took some of the greatest stars of all time 11 years to break through is because other people had say. People didn't see Gaga's talent. They thought she was weird. Somebody thought she wasn't weird. She breaks out. Like Lady Gaga today, she goes on YouTube and Spotify direct, and the market speaks quicker. People are more famous quicker now if they have the talent because nobody's in the middle. This is why I talk in general terms on content, of course, because I don't have the context. But if somebody sat here and I listened for 40 minutes, I would tell them if they're delusional or just impatient. And most people are impatient and delusional.
Also, if you want to learn how to build confidence, check out my 254 Confidence series. It's free. The link is in the description below.
The reason people aren't patient is they value other people's opinions too much.
Rule number 5, chase happiness.
If I can replace the word millionaire with happy, and I'm crazy, I think I can pull it off.
What do you do, Gary, when, let's say you're at a location or you're at a point in your life that you're, obviously you need to pay bills, but you're no longer happy. What do you?
You need to change your bills.
Okay.
You need to not buy a fresh hoodie. You may need to move into a shittier apartment. Okay. I'm being dead serious. One of the other conversations I'm having is change your bills.
Okay.
You know, if you're not happy but you got bills, why don't you look at your bills? Happiness.
Happiness is key.
No, dude, it's everything.
Rule number 6, be honest.
I think getting a sense of like, what are you actually up to is super important. Yeah. And if you're like, I love what I do, well then you should invest in that beast forever. If you're like, I just want some money and buy a home in Jamaica and live there, right, well then maximize it and squeeze it. Okay. And I think it's a very important thing. I just don't think most people know what they're doing. When I say know what they're doing, I mean macro. Mm-hmm. Like, why do you have this business?
Correct. And it doesn't need to be a super complicated answer to your point.
Is this a lifestyle business? Is this a legacy? Yeah. Is this, you want to make as much money as possible, flip it and do something else? Right. Like, if you are honest with yourself and everybody around you, employees will work for you if you tell them that you're going to drive everybody into the ground and flip it, because some of them may say, well, I just need the paycheck. Or they may say, oh, cool, I want to be flipped. Or, cool, I just want to watch her do it, and then maybe I'll do it. Like, truth really is good. It's really, really good.
Rule number 7, take action.
People like listening to your content and consume it. They like the feeling of being motivated, but then there's work that has to be done after it, and I don't think people like that feeling.
Yeah, and I think that's why I talk about trying to find things you like, not making money the variable of happiness. You know this, like I make content that literally says, stop watching me, go do it. And then they go and watch somebody else that charges them for the information. So like, yeah, I mean like people like consuming motivational content because they think they're actually doing something. I think it's like watching somebody else work out.
Rule number 8, be good at timing.
I will tell you the biggest thing that I've gotten better at, the lessons I learned as a kid, even though I was right, I literally built my dad's entire business strategy for Wine Library when I took over in 1998 on this is true, that by the year 2000, which was 24 months from then, everybody would walk into our liquor store with a phone and have technology that would give them the price of every product in the country in order of best price. And that's literally how I decided to sell everything at cost that anybody knew and then build up other brands. It was great because it really worked because we were the price leader of every wine anybody wanted. We still don't do that. It is now 2019. We have close-ish capability. We have that capability-ish. There is something called Wine Searcher. If you're a big wine buyer that aggregates, like it's there, but it's not one person will walk into Wine Library this year. Best Buy, where people look up stuff on Amazon, you know? So I was wrong about timing. What I'm good at now, people are like, you're so right. I'm good at timing. That's why I didn't bet on VR. That's why I don't bet on AR. That's why I don't bet on machine learning or things of that nature. I know every one of those things is gonna happen. The question is when.
Rule number 9, learn to deal with negativity.
I like reading my negative comments way more than my positive ones. I mean it. And I don't think they're trolls and haters. I really don't. I think that they've consumed me in a context and I need to be thoughtful about what they're thinking. Now, I equally believe that if you're taking time to consume other people's content on the internet and then you have the energy to leave terrible comments, you're in a sad place yourself. You know, so usually when I read like, Gary Vee, you're a snake oil salesman, my first default is, okay, why did they interpret this content this way? But even before I go there, my alpha, even before that, my first default is like, I feel bad for that person.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is turn adversities into strengths.
I've only heard of you since like 3 days ago.
Wow.
Yeah. My friend sent me here. I'm actually not from a very good background. My dad is an alcoholic. My mom's a gambler. I'm trying to get out of that situation, right? I did poorly in high school because of my parents, right? So I'm trying to start out my life in terms of my career.
If you say, I did poorly in high school because of my parents, there's something interesting. You may, in hindsight, in years to come when you get older, see it as a huge advantage. When I hear stories of that much adversity, the amount of people that I know that have gone on to shine, first of all, for you to be this young and have the aspirations to break through instead of dwell and be like, I got it's over, huge.
Thank you.
I think if you keep building on that, and like, I actually think being bad at high school is foundationally a core reason most people end up being successful. And so the more you start thinking about your adversities as strengths, the more the reality of what you're trying to achieve is gonna happen.
Now I've got a special bonus clip from Gary on how to market properly that I really think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1, what adversity of yours do you need to turn into a strength? Number 2, what action are you sitting on that you need to do something about right now? And number 3, what does chasing happiness look like for you?
There's a big difference between something being dead and something not being a good deal. The actions you're running your business, whether it's Yellow Pages or direct mail or even Google AdWords for a lot of people, is not a good deal anymore as it used to be. To me, when I think about marketing or what I'm about or why I'm pushing you to post organic content on Instagram right now and run ads on Instagram is because I think in 9 years, Instagram's not gonna be a good deal. It'll still be here. Guess what? MySpace is still here. Marketing and running a business is about having a good deal on your media spend, your efforts, and your time, not if something's dead or alive. This is in the margins. This is in the arbitrage. Is it worth it today? February 2019, are your actions worth it today? Or did they work in 2003 and you're just on that repetitive shit?
If you want more Gary Vee, check out the first top 10 rules I made on him. The link is right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
You need to bet on your strengths and don't give a about what you suck at. If you want this, if you want bling bling, if you want to buy the jets, if you want to do work.